the it's almost like they're trying to reinvent the wheel in coaching. And Tom, uh, he and Yanni Walston many years ago, and Tom was ahead of our time, Dave. He was working with Johanni and European coaches, Finnish coaches, and he wrote a book with Johanni, and it had pictures of players of that time in it. And Tom has just revised that book and changed the pictures, taking Danny Heatley out and putting in somebody from today's generation. But the content of that book applies today. And I buy copies, and Tom literally gives them to me to distribute to coaches. And there's one chapter in there on the four parts of the game, how to teach it, think it. And that's the only part I think the coaches I work with need to appreciate the most. Dave, I've recently reread your book, and Tom is presently reading it on Kindle. And the last two chapters, to me, really, and Tom mentioned it, one of the few books that has brought the game up to date in a simple way to understand what's happening. So the skill level is growing exponentially. I watched the World Junior game, Canada beating the Czechs yesterday, and the skill level was just phenomenal. And I think that the ability to think the game, make decisions, like Tarasov said years ago, it's not about speed of hand and foot, it's more about speed of mind.
Yeah.
They've got to be able to apply those skills at a high tempo. Brent, go ahead.
Yeah, I run a youth program for the kids, so I'm going to log off. But I just appreciate all three of your stories. Dave, thanks for sharing your knowledge, and Tom, thank you for sharing your knowledge. But I'll leave you on a quick note. I got a call from a chief from Denali, which is way up north, and in 1825, their nation claims to be the first indigenous nation to invent the game of hockey almost 200 years ago. And they have stories from the elders on how that game was developed and played. And there's an explorer. An explorer wrote it in his book. And that explorer was talking about how these native people, indigenous people, are like floating on the ice. And there's no word in the Dene language for hockey, but there's over 800 traditional games in our culture, horse games, different types of games, and these games are meant to bring people together, all walks of life, and that's how the elders brought people together with these traditional games. And then there's a key component to these games, and they're called halukwa, which is the elders. And the elders, that's where the youth listen to the elders, and the elders tell them stories on experience. So coming up when I go to New York, I'm going to share some of these stories with Gary Bettman, and I'll be thinking about you guys when I go there. So there's another nation in 1817 that invented it, but they played shinny. It wasn't hockey. So this game brings us all together. And just to leave it on a note, I'm into native relay, indigenous relay, the most extreme sport in the world right now. And all your methods that I took down, I'm going to teach to the young kids that I'm trying to bring up. That thank you for your knowledge, and I'm going to log off, but you guys have a good day. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brent. Thanks very much,
Brent. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, outstanding.
Really terrific.
Oh, fantastic.
Wow. Great job, Wally Kozak.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to mention Brent's not an elder yet.
Yeah, right.
And we are. And the respect that they have for elders, the native people,
Yeah.
Um, culturally, it sure would be nice to have that authentic respect in our society because as we age, you begin to feel less and less useful. And every Thursday we get together and feel like we're worthy.
Yep.
And we all know that what we're talking about is really important.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when I record and edit this, the full portion gets posted. And the last time that George Kingston was on, I had 50 people listen to the entire presentation.
Hmm.
When I edit bits and pieces, and some of them today are precious, they just, there's so many different topic areas, but I get to spend my time, because that's all I've got, editing the topics and putting them out to an audience. I run into people that say they read it and appreciate it, and it's interesting running into scouts of female NCAA programs, assistant coaches coming in and talking to me about listening to the presentation. So there are some people out there learning from it, but there's a degree of frustration doing what we do and wondering whether we're wasting our time or not. But we keep on knocking on doors and sharing